footage is continuing to trickle out. The latest is showing demonstrations in Tehran, including at funerals of those who've been killed so far in the protests, still hearing those anti-regime slogans. But the internet and telecoms blackout is still severely limiting the information flow, and verifying is obviously really difficult from abroad. Yesterday, the government held counter demonstrations, a kind of show of force to shore up support and legitimacy in the face of the protesters. But as you said, activists are saying already over 600 people confirmed dead, and they're also saying they're investigating another 500 reported dead. So there's fears that that casualty count is going to rise quite significantly yet.
How has the US president tried to intervene?
Yeah, the first concrete response came overnight with this tariff announcement that you mentioned, 25% sanctions on products from countries that are doing business with Iran. That would, in theory, stand to most affect countries like China, the UAE or Turkey, where I am. But it's also a tactic that Trump has used before, so I think it will remain to be seen, to what extent is that going to be implemented, to what extent is it a negotiating tactic. At the more escalatory end of the spectrum, obviously, he was also briefed overnight on military options. We don't yet know what those would be. Iranian officials, for their part, were yesterday saying that they're not looking for war, but they're ready, and indeed more ready than they were in the June war with Israel.
I was talking to a guest earlier, Patrick, who was saying that the US chance to really intervene kinetically has been and gone now. The protest, this round of it at least, is basically over, although it depends whether you believe the Iranian foreign minister. What might happen next? What should we be looking out for in the coming days in Iran?
I think that the area to really watch internationally is diplomacy, right? Trump said publicly that Iran had called to negotiate. Iran has also said that lines of communication with the Americans, with Steve Witkoff, are open. Just a few days ago, the Omanis were in Tehran. They've known to be mediators between Iran and the US in the past. So there's clearly some contacts being made. What we're looking for now is where do they go? What kind of arrangement, agreement might be found between the two sides that would suit them both, that could de-escalate? And then in turn, what would that mean for the people on the streets? Would that be enough to satisfy them? Or would we just see the same thing bubbling up in a few weeks, months, years?